Hi, this is Rick Paris and welcome to Conscious Reality Creator. This week I want to talk about meditation. Meditation is a critical part of consciously creating reality. Meditation is more real than physical reality. The reason that is physical reality, as many of us know, is an illusion. And oh yeah, reality's an illusion. I know, it's not real. But it's a very real illusion. And so the illusion, if you want to look at it this way, is like the end of an equation. It's the answer. Now, in order to have a correct answer, I need the equation to be correct, right? So you need a place to jump from. You need a place to begin conscious reality creation. And meditation is the key and poignant position in that. What I want you to understand that is because the outer illusion, the outer reality, basically are your senses. Your senses are electrical impulses back to your brain, and you're calibrated to see a certain amount of light, hear a certain amount of sound, taste a certain amount of things, right? There's a calibration, there's a place that I'm in between. There's far more things that you could see, far more things you could hear, but like dog can hear more than you can. Sounds, we hear, I don't know what it is, 4 or 5 octaves, but then your eyes, if you really think about it, your eyes only see 1 octave. You only see infrared to ultraviolet. You don't see that, but that's the boundaries, 1 octave. Imagine how much there really is to see that we can't even see. So the illusion is a function of how we're calibrated. When you shut the illusion down and go into the mind is free to do anything it wants. You're really that free to do it here, but you've got a lot of beliefs that I can't really fly here, I can't really walk through walls here, but I could do it in my meditations. So the power is in the meditation. Transcendental meditation isn't a very powerful thing to use your time with. And I know a lot of people are going to get butthurt about that. But transcendental meditation is really just the adolescent trying to control the rhetoric, trying to control the jetsam and flotsam in my mind, that I'm just trying to calm down and just get centered. It's because the adolescent is just stuck in their ego all the time, and the ego is running so much stuff all the time, you can't shut it down. So transcendental meditation is a way to really control the situation, really control so I don't hear anything. But then what do? You're just sitting in this nothing place that takes a lot of work to get there. For what? Hang out in a quiet space for a little while just so I can hear myself not think? It's weird, really, when you think about it. So, imaginative meditation is going into a place where you can start consciously creating reality, since reality starts from the inside and then reflects on the outside. You're going in a meditation to the inside. And so what you're attempting to do in imaginative meditation is to bring the real into an illusion. The way that you begin is to understand you're going into the more real. And it is more real because you've bypassed the outside world. You're getting senses that you're generating inside. And an example I use often is if you like brownies and you imagine a brownie, your favorite kind of brownie, and your mouth is watering. Mine's watering right now, just talking about it. Because the sympathetic nervous system doesn't know the difference between is it here or is it here. So your body starts reacting. So if you're in a meditation, everything, your subconscious, your body, everything starts reacting to the reality. Oftentimes you see athletes. What do? I visualize making the game-winning shot, all that kind of stuff. You're really going into the more real, imagining it in such a way so many times that the subconscious actually realizes, oh yeah, we've done that 1,000 times. We've done that before. Even if it's only once before. Your mind and your subconscious and your internal beingness has already done it because you've done it there. Not only are you in this place to heal and move past limitation, the best thing about this is you can create reality. If you want more fun in your life, you want more money in your life, you want more love, you want more friends, you want a bigger apartment, you want a better car, All of that can be just done from here. Because the more you're in there and the more you take responsibility and the more you're God being, this is the place the God starts. The God being starts from the inside, taking responsibility from the inside. You will feel more powerful out here. You will see things start moving. Even if they don't move, you're going to notice when something happens. Wow, that was in my meditation. Sometimes, literally, I might have a butterfly in my meditation come by, and all of a sudden tomorrow morning I'm talking to my wife, and the same butterfly lands right in front of me. You'll see little synchronicities happen, little things, and you'll know right away. Oh my God, that was in. It'll start bleeding through. That powerful person that you're feeling in meditation will just start feeling more powerful. You see the butterfly now, you're like, you get a rush of power because what I was feeling in that meditation comes forward, and I realize, wow, I'm really in charge here. I'm really the one. And so I just want you to have that experience, and you just play with it. Just play with this idea. And I guarantee you're going to see changes. So I'm going to go into what it is to do imaginative meditating, because there's a process to it. The first thing that you're going to do is just like any other meditation. You're going to get quiet. You're going to just calm down, close your eyes. The thing is, I'm going to tell you is set the room up properly. If you need a blanket, get a blanket. If you need to pull the shade, pull the shade. If you need, set it up, because you're leaving your body and you want your body safe and comfortable while you're gone. If it's too cold, when you're in your meditation, the cold is going to affect your meditation. You want to be comfortable. That way, I can actually easily, like if I'm in meditation and it seems like the water's cold, I can immediately heat the water up right now because I'm comfortable in my body and my body's not wanting. So you create the environment that the body is comfortable. Then you relax. You can use music. You don't need to use music. I like using music because somehow the music sometimes allows me to flow in and out easier. So what you're going to do is after you're relaxed and after you deep breathe and whatever it takes to get your body just in a nice, relaxed place, you're going to imagine yourself in what is called a safe place. Now this safe place, nothing can go in this safe place. Nothing can go into this safe place without your permission. If there's something in your safe place when you get there, you immediately know that's my negative ego. So just kick the negative ego out. If it doesn't leave, then you've got to deal with something with your negative ego. But in the meantime, just know it's just your negative ego, because this space that I'm entering, the more real in, is completely boundaried. Like for me, I even have a place that I have a gate. There's no fence, but there's a gate and there's a walkway that I walk through, that when I go through that, I'm telling my subconscious, I'm open to other things happening now. But while I'm in my safe place, no, this is my place. But you know, your safe place can be very creative. The way I usually tell people to start that, somewhere that you've been in nature that has triggered you, maybe to tears, or you felt so much joy and peace simultaneously. Joy and peace simultaneously is kind of what you're really optimally looking for. But you want to be somewhere and just duplicate that place. The safe place that I am, there's really almost nothing left of it, because over time, the safe place will keep mutating. It'll keep getting richer. The longer that you're gone, it'll keep changing. Mine is so different now, it's amazing. There might be 2 plants left that originally what I started out with. There's different trees, there's different water, there's different arenas, there's different walkways, there's so many things that'll come to you over time, and this will become your place. And you'll feel very comfortable in this place, and you'll feel very at peace, and it's very loving, and there can be flowers everywhere, and they're always blooming. I have a gazebo with just covered in roses all over, and I go in there, and sometimes I sit in there, and I talk to my higher self in this cool gazebo, and there's a little waterfall over there, and it's all white, and it's got 8 sides to it. There's all kinds of things with this gazebo, 3 steps to get in it. I've taken a lot of time creating my safe place. I have a bed with a canopy just outside, but it's always perfectly clean white sheets, and it's always got a down comforter. It's never dirty. There's crystals around, just all kinds of things. I have a huge, huge tree right to the right of the bed that has a hole that I can go into the underground. I can go. I've been through this for so many years that it's a very amazing place to be. And so you want your safe place to be inventive, a place that, your higher self, maybe it's okay, but you want to be able to invite when you're in there. I invite my higher self to come. I invite my soul to come with me. I invite my guides in, and they will only come when they're invited. So given that space, that's where you do your work. And again, you might have a fence, maybe you have a gate, maybe you have some other creative way, but you want to have a space between where's my safe space and everything else outside of it. Because just like the athlete does when they want to have a game and they go in there and they imagine themselves, they got so many seconds on the buzzer, I'm at the free throw line, I'm ready to go, I feel centered, and boom, I swish it, and I just feel how good that feels, right? You're going to do that with anything and everything in your life. If you want to raise, if you want something to happen tomorrow that you really want to happen. Because if you do this kind of meditative work first, your subconscious and your body has already done it. You can get rid of fears this way. If you have a fear about water, go in your meditative, go to a swimming pool, jump in, go through your fears, watch yourself swimming, enjoying the water. It'll be easier to make those changes outside. But what you're essentially doing is taking responsibility for reality in a more real place, and I'm consciously directing reality. The next thing you do when you enter your safe space, while you're there, you're going to notice all the elements. You want to hear the water, feel the water. What is the air doing? Where's the sun? Where is it coming up? Is it warm? Is it cool? Is there a breeze? All the elements, you want to actively engage them because the elements are the space between you and physical reality. They're the energy that you're playing with in everything. Every single thing in physical reality is a combination of the elements. Just different amounts of everything. That's how everything manifests. Everything is a function of the elements. So you turn the elements on. Then as soon as you notice all the elements, you now turn your senses on. What does it taste like to be in my safe place? What am I smelling? What is the water like? What are, all my senses, what does it sound like to be in safety? So you turn on your senses. Now what you've done, once I have acknowledged the elements and I understand and I've turned on my senses, that's as real as anything is going to get. It's more real than anything you're going to experience out of here because you are able to do anything. You want to fly? Fly there. You want to teleport? Teleport. Do whatever it is. And so you start learning, where if I need a lot of responsibility, I go to a place like I was in New Zealand once and there was this amazing grass as far as I could see that was golden and the wind was blowing and the mountains were in the background and I felt so powerful and so inspired by the air, and air is a function of power and responsibility. So you want to take on those metaphorical qualities of the elements while I'm in there. Water's about the emotions. Earth is about the grounding and the structure of things. So you start working in this environment to be very creative, as creative as you possibly can be in there. If you are having an argument with someone, if you go into your meditative place and you talk it out with them first, you're actually talking to that person's best self. You're not talking to the self that's out here stuck in the reality with their projections and everything else. You can handle an argument. When you come back home and you go to talk and you realize, oh, that went so beautifully. Because I already did the argument. I already asked them to forgive me. I already said I was sorry in a place that I could actually do so in a safe place, in a safe manner. And then you're bringing that experience into the illusion. So you're always working in meditative state. I would say definitely meditate every day. Definitely. If you've got the space and time, meditate 2 or 3 times a day. Get used to consciously creating what I want and waiting for it to happen. Get back into myself and waiting for that to happen. Work the system. It will work for you. The more you do it, I guarantee the better you're going to feel and the more in tune with your outside environment you're going to become. It's such a beautiful thing to do. And let yourself sometimes don't meditate. Sometimes just let it go. You can't always keep yourself moving. You have breaks. You wax and you wane just like the moon. Sometimes you're in it, sometimes I don't do it. Don't punish yourself or shame yourself. But learn to lean on the more real. And I can't stress that enough to understand. This is just a function of your measuring devices. I'm getting electrical impulses that look real, but it's not. It's an illusion, just like quantum physics can explain to you. But in meditation, it's more real. I can share a couple of things real quick that I've manifested out of meditation, direct result from meditation. I mean, there's lots of things. Half of my life is a result of these meditations. I mean, I can't even tell you how many. But it was when I was on my vacation in New Zealand, I mentioned I had a really amazing experience when I was in New Zealand. And one of the things my wife and I had decided to do was we were selling our house. And we worked on that, like, okay, we want to get a lot of money for our house. We want to get top dollar for our house. Well, we had talked to a real estate person like 6 months before, and they put the house up, and nobody came and looked at the house, and we were all like, what? You know, we did our work. And we're like, so we dropped it. We're like, so all we can say is it's not a good time. We're going to let it go. We had the house for sale for $1.2 million, and they were like, no, you're going to have to lower the price. And no, I'm not lowering the price on my house. No. Long story short. We come home, and there is a note in our mailbox asking if we'd like to sell our house. So we call the people, and they're like, we want your house. We've seen this house. We want this house. And so I throw it out there. I'm like, I want 1.5 million. And they just said, okay, no problem. And we were just like, wow. We literally had no realtor. We didn't even have to show the house. This person knew they wanted the house. They came and looked at the house the next day, and we went through escrow. We sold our house. And we sold our house in the outer sunset of San Francisco. We set the price. We didn't even have the best house on the beach. There were many houses, but we got the best price on the beach. And we set the whole, just like that, all meditatively. And I know it was that because that's where I'm going to put my belief. That's where I'm going to put my significance in what I'm trying to create. And that was an amazing thing that we both did it together. So we did. We sold our house. We moved to Hawaii for a while and we moved to Texas for a while. Back in Oakland again. We've been enjoying ourselves. And that was just from imaginative meditating. You see, you're living in a world right now that has told you that everything is in the reflection. That's why people are trying for outside validation. When you start realizing, I'm trying to create from here and watching what's coming, you don't need, if the reality tells me something negative or something isn't good enough, then that's a belief. It's not anything to do with the messenger. You don't want to get involved in trying to control the messenger. Where today, that's what it is. If you hear that, I can't, I want more money, and I go to work and they say, well, you don't have enough responsibility. It's like, that only tells you that I feel like I need more responsibility. The belief is if I don't take more responsibility, I can't have more money. If you just imagine yourself having more money and you feel good about it and you go in there, you're probably going to get more money. But you've got to get good at imagining and going through that in the more reals once you resolve it. Because the same problem, you might be in a meditation and you're having a problem in meditation just like you're going to have here. I go to talk to my boss and he says, you're a jerk. I don't even like you. So you're like, resolve it there. Resolving it there is no different to your subconscious than resolving it out here. And you'll learn something about resolving it. And by the time you go to work tomorrow, you'll be a different person because you resolved it. But you have to understand, I have to be giving myself more significance. I'm putting significance where significance belongs, in the more real. When I say work, I'm going to go to work in my meditation. What that is you got to work your imagination is what I'm talking about. To go in there and literally go through what you're afraid of. And when my senses are, if you're afraid of the water, if you got your senses going and you're sitting there in front of a pool on a diving board, you're going to be just as afraid as any other time. But you know what? You're not going to drown. If you go there and do the work is to imagine myself jumping in, and maybe I go underwater and I just breathe underwater for a while and get comfortable underwater and realize, well, this is kind of nice in here. I'm just floating and I could breathe underwater in a meditation because I can imagine it that way. So the work is imagining yourself fixing or creating what it is that I want. So the work is not like work like out here. The work is working my imagination, learning how to turn it on, learning how to make things real, learning how to be in a space in my mind that feels just as real, if not more so than out here. Because you're fully engaged in there. You're generating where the sun's coming up. You're generating the breeze. You're generating the water. You're generating it all. And I'll say with that, this work is not physical. It's metaphysical work. And it's work just like any other, but you can stay as long as you want. Time is illusion. If you want to make a week go by in a day, just make it go by. Walk around, watch the sun go down, watch the moon come up. Your mind is another day. It's another day. If you think it's going to take 3 days to fix something, stay 3 days in the meditation. You see what I mean? There's no end to what imaginative meditation can do. Imagination is the workhorse of conscious reality creating, and this technique, this process will teach you how to do it.